How to forgive yourself. Man, that's a hard one. Forgiving really can't be done on one's own strength. And that's a funny thing. There really seems to be a need for a mediator for the process. At first glance, what seems to be most challenging to me in the process of forgiveness is letting go, especially letting go of hurt, pain, and confusion. I feel like I have to know and understand the why behind everything. The most challenging part is if I've held onto something for so long, it becomes a part of me and I am afraid of letting it go. Who am I without it? But I've really come to learn that it's control, that which I'm terrified of letting go. I receive a sense of comfort and familiarity when holding on to something. It makes me feel safe knowing I have something in my possession. It kind of reminds me of what many women would say to me when trying to break apart from their addictions. They would tell me they are afraid of what's on the other side of addiction. They're afraid of what life looks like on the other end. Who would they be? They were afraid to quit. And I wonder if this is something similar to what I'm facing as I let go of pain, anger, hurt, regret, confusion, and control. I'm afraid of what's on the other side of letting go. Perhaps I'm afraid of my true self being exposed for the whole world to see, or even simply exposed to myself. How to forgive myself. I'm not sure how I know this, but I know what's required of me is humility and trust. Humility to acknowledge that I am in hurt and in pain from a decision I had made, and trust that my God can deal with the consequences of my mistakes and make amends. What I find holding myself back from the process is this questioning of why and how I got here in the first place. I keep tracing back my paces to all the moments exactly where I made the mistakes. I notice then, for some reason, I find myself condemning myself. At that point, saying I shouldn't have done that, I should have known better, and that this shouldn't have happened. I feel afraid of forgiving myself because I think it's holding me accountable. If I forgive myself, I feel afraid I am giving myself permission to make mistakes again and run the risk of drudging through this cycle of pain and hurt again. And I don't know how much more I can take of that. I'm beginning to see how unhealthy an image that is. For me to hold a grudge against myself, holding myself back, while the true me deep inside of me is longing to be forgiven and to try again. Kaylee will make mistakes on her journey. She is a fallen human just like all of humanity, and I am holding on to her. I have been controlling Kaylee without me truly realizing it, and she's longing and begging to be set free from this agony of judgment, condemnation, shame, and fear that I have been casting onto her. And with a mediator so powerful and perfect, with a perfect plan for her, I'm coming to realize I am safe to letting her go. He is the father and she is the daughter. She was made to be in union with him, and they are both running towards each other. She desires his blessing, and he desires all of her. He knows everything about her and what she needs. He is a miracle-working and life-saving God, and I should not get in the way, or even in the way of his gentle and tender approach. And I think that's what Kaylee needs more so. A God-sized whisper of hope and truth straight to her heart. A whisper of faith. He knows exactly what she needs. Right now in this state of forgiveness, Kaylee is confined. She's looking for hope but can't see it. She's looking for faith, but it's nowhere to be found. She can see a life full of wonder and adventure through the jail cell bars, but is forced to watch because she is bound by her confinement and dying to be set free. Most painfully to know is that she is bound by herself, me. I seem to be recognizing my place. I see that now I myself have been hurt, betrayed, mistrusted, and abandoned. I have lived and dwelled in that pain. And I never want Kaylee to experience the same pain for my mistake that I lived. So God, I ask that you set my captive heart free. I ask you help me to forgive all those who have hurt me. Like me, they were just trying to protect themselves from hurt and pain in the life of confinement that they may have had cast upon them. I ask you help to forgive myself and help me to let go of all that I'm caught up on, especially the spirits of self-righteousness, self-justification, and control. I believe it's time for me to let her go. I feel so terrified of seeing her get hurt. I feel terrified of seeing her in pain. I feel terrified to see her make a mistake. She wants to be free, and I need to let her go and entrust her with the Lord, who transcends all creation of all of existence, which is where she longs to dwell, and who is ultimately in full control. Kaylee, for God's greater glory and vision, I am setting you free. Go run and be who you were made to be. It will be the greatest adventure you'll ever embark on. Be who you are and live in the freedom and light of your Father forever.